looks so stupid in the water, I'm not gonna lie.
Ah, why do you throw hooks at me?
Throw more hooks at me.
He's going for the beer Sanko. It's in my femur. Oh my God. That's what it did to me. I'm doing this one for the fans. You know what's cool is when you film a whole video 3 months ago and then you don't have an intro for it, so you film it now.
And then you splice it together like nothing happened.
What's up, nerds? Welcome to a video we filmed 3 months ago. So this was from October, and
we thought it was cold in October.
we actually make jokes about how cold it is.
27 degrees this morning, and it was 20 degrees last night.
Yeah, so now that Siberia's winter has come down to the Americas. Anyways, we still wanted to release this video, so you're actually gonna get to see some on the water footage. So we went out in our kayaks and we tested out all the weirdest baits that we own, and they're weird. So we're gonna show you a few of them. I don't know if I have all of them from this video, but I have most of them. One of them's definitely gone. It got lost, I lost it. So it's on that lake, whatever lake that was, I don't even remember. But I just want to show you guys some of these baits. We took them out of the water, we tested them out, because most of these we'd never fished. We just got them either, they came in a box, they looked cool, we, you know,
tried them out for a little bit, and then that was it.
I heard a lot about them, so I figured I had to buy it, and now I own it, whatever. Yeah, we put them to the test. It was not the day for it. We caught this many fish on them, exactly 0.
Not to give it away or anything.
Spoiler alert. We didn't catch anything because it was October in Michigan, and these are mostly topwater baits. But we did get a chance to put them to the test, see how the action was, and I think that's enough of sort of like buyer's warning.
I think we did like a 1 to 10 on everything.
Yes, we did. We did a 1 to 10 scale on everything, so pay attention to the scores, I guess, if you care. And then you'll also see like if these were on your mind of like, okay, it looks kind of gimmicky, maybe it's a good bait, maybe it's not. Some people say they like it. Are they getting paid to say they like it? I don't know. We are not. So this is our honest opinion on all of these.
And these are all basically creatures from the deep lagoon. Like that's basically, it's all like
they're absurd. Most.
Should we get into it? Can we get into it?
We're gonna show you guys a whole bunch of them. We'll just kind of run through, and then we'll let you guys decide after you see us fish them for a little while. These are all front-facing cameras on the kayaks, by the way, too. So you're really just getting our gut reaction on these things. So real quick, before we do that, if you guys like the content, be sure to subscribe, smash a like, ring that notification bell. Maybe come back for Wednesday lives. We go live 8 p.m. Eastern. It'd be super great. All right, let's get into it. First up, Daniel the duck. Like he's in trouble. Daniel the duck. This is a Westin Danny the duck. A lot of pike fishermen love this. People in the UK fishing for gigantic fish and a completely different Essex species. Love this thing. I don't for bass, but we had to put it to the test on the water because a lot of you guys like it. Just because I don't like it, it's my personal preference, doesn't mean I won't fish it. So there, I did that for you guys.
We got Teddy the turtle. Just kidding, I named him Teddy, but he is a turtle. This is a lunker hunt turtle. And it's got this gigantic stinger hook. It's got the two bonus hooks right here in case somehow it gets past this.
In case it swallows the whole turtle.
Terrapin. We're gonna call it Terrapin the turtle, and that's it. That's what we got for you. I don't know. You'll see the opinions and the verdict.
We got the Westin hollow body swim. Some people would question why. Westin would say because we can.
Not because we should have.
Not because we should.
Final verdict coming shortly. We got the Super Beetle. I think that's what it's called, from Molix. I probably got it wrong. Yeah, it's just like insane. But yeah, again, verdict coming soon. But I love the paint job. If nothing else, if I tell you nothing else right now, the paint job is actually really solid.
You guys you're gonna be surprised by the final verdict on that. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
We got the lunker hunt boys made a thing. This is a little poppin' bug. It's like a little foam kind of material. It comes pre-rigged, a little skirt there. You get it.
And of course, the Skitter lizard. All I can think of is Leonard Skitter. I don't know why, but yeah,
Leonard Skitter.
This is another
Skitter Leonard.
Skitter lizard. This is another special from the old boys at Lunker Hunt. And look, you got another stinger hook. There it is, right out the butt. And then a couple of two little guys right here for no one is ever going to catch fish on these ones. And then you got a lot of legs. And a tail.
Yeah.
And a head. Everyone says it's the best topwater. The internet is like, this is undefeated on the web. That's all I'm saying. Look at him. He's like,
I don't understand the internet sometimes. Then we got Chase Baits, the whole gosh dang bird. The whole gosh dang bird is what we're calling this one. The bird is the word, or is it? This is the one that comes in all black, which is like one of my favorite topwater colors. It makes this much noise.
Oh God. Look, show them where it's hitting. So these metal arms are actually hitting this piece right here, and it is loud.
Yep. So that's cool. Battle Beetle.
Well, I had Super Beetle stuck in my head.
Beetle that battles.
So here's another one you might be surprised about, the opinion. This is the Battle Beetle from the old Lunker Hunt, made another appearance.
They're like the stars of this episode.
They really are. So you got 2 treble hooks here, a joint, a very loose joint, and then kind of an awesome paint job. I love the black and purple. It's freaking cool, but you do have a lip. You got a lip right there too. So TBD on that one.
Yeah, and then up last here, I think.
Yeah, it's the last one.
Other than the one that went missing, which by the way was a Castaic crankbait, a Rick Clun, I believe.
Oh, that was like the deep diving, heavy.
Deep diving, rectangular bill.
Spoonish.
Real weird. Anyways, you'll see it fished, and then zing, gone. We got this one here from Headbanger Lures. I forget what it's called actually, but it's got a little rattle to it. And then it's got this staple from Headbanger, which is this little scooped loose rocker head situation, and then a replaceable tail, which actually has like a little screw lock back there. So you can swap those out. You can use your own paddle tails. I mean, it's a nifty design. One treble hook coming off the bottom there.
Looks very alien.
Yep.
That's the lineup.
There you go. That box of goodies, it hit the water. How did it do? Let's find out. Over to us. Ugh, yeah. Oh, look at my water. Or my monster is just pouring.
Suck it, loser.
I win.
Suck it, nerd. Let's go catch all the fishes and all the lands. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a hell of a time in this wind.
I want to see how the Beetle works.
All right, Beetle. Why did I spend $10 on you? All right, so we're throwing the Molix Super NATO Beetle.
What's Jeff talking about?
Once again, not for bad baits, for the weirdest baits we own. Right off the bat, this is one of those baits you don't want to like pop or twitch your rod. It is way better if you just slow reel it. So it's a slow retrieve through the trash. It's gonna perform better that way. Otherwise it ends up like turning around or flipping over. So this bait actually walks really well. I'm kind of a fan.
Which one?
The Super NATO Beetle.
Yeah.
It's got great action.
All right.
Weird bait, I'm a fan. Regardless of catches, I like this bait. I could see catching on this in midsummer or something maybe. Not that we had any luck on frogs this year. Wrong place, wrong time. We're also fishing a windswept bank, so when you have a hollow body bait, like this is throwing off the action a little bit. I'm okay with that. Mainly I just want to like try these baits out today. That's the point. Imagine catching your first frogfish of the year in October. It could happen to anyone.
It could absolutely happen.
I can see how this would absolutely perform better in like open water, less sloppy conditions. Definitely not ideal for today's conditions. But I would say all in all, pretty cool bait. I'm gonna try some of the other ones we got. Final verdict, Molix Super NATO Beetle, rad bait. Run the weed lines. I can't today, the wind keeps pushing me in. Definitely a bait I would keep in the hollow body box and throw throughout the year. Weird bait success.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm doing the Skitter Lizard. This was one of the weirdest baits, and Jeff is a big fan. He said that it fishes really well, just as intended. Never had an issue with it. I'm lying. He said it's god awful.
I hate you so much.
And it immediately goes upside down.
How dare
So
you burn my, well, not good, but kind of okay name.
just name is trash. Let's see how it goes. Cast pretty well. Good job casting. So it's got this twisty, it looks so stupid in the water. I'm not gonna lie. It looks so dumb. Cause like these legs, they kind of are giggly because they kind of spread out and it just looks like a spread eagle weird thing. It does have a lot of hooks. So it has standard frog hooks in the front and then they've added this stinger hook, you know, in the back here, and it kind of goes through. If you can see that, it goes right through the top there. The tail does spin as intended, and it's pretty soft actually. Let's see how it does in the actual pads. So it is 100% upside down. This is a lot of bait. All right, my review here, I threw it in the pads, I threw it on the edges. The arms are worthless in the front. I don't know anything about hookup ratio. Having it in the middle of the body seems like a bad idea, to be honest. The tail does do stuff and it spins, which is kind of cool. I think the biggest problem that I have with it, I mean, it pulled through the trash okay. I think the biggest problem I have with it is that it doesn't splash enough. I feel like if the front arms made some sort of splash or walked or something, like this would have a little bit more appeal to me. This has no place in a tackle box, in my opinion, especially at the price point. That is that's my final review. I would not recommend.
Why do you throw hooks at me?
Throw more hooks at me. All right, this is the Westin hollow body swim. I make no promises, not a single one.
Make negative promises.
I should promise you I won't like it.
I promise it will send fish away.
I'm the trash man. I come out and I throw trash all over the ring, and then I start eating garbage. All right, let's see how this goes. Oh, cast pretty nice, cast pretty nice. You can kind of run it like a jerkbait, I guess.
I bent the hooks out because the hooks went down so hard. I was like, how is any fish?
No, it's not gonna penetrate, yeah. Why do you need a darting topwater in that weedless?
Again, Europe. Maybe in the UK it makes sense, I don't know.
All right, so this is the Westin Swim. The nice things about this bait, it's got a cool profile. Like that profile is going to pull through cover, no matter what. I was running this like a jerkbait in sort of like open areas in the pads. So if I found a spot in the pads that was like open, I would cast past it, pull this into it, swish it back and forth, pause it. And I feel like that's not a terrible way to go. Concerns I have, it's nice that the hooks are like way back there. That's kind of nice because that's probably where your bite's gonna be. The problem is that they are way dug down into this bait. So maybe bend these out a little bit.
I bent those too.
Oh, and these are bent out, thanks Jeff. So this is them bent out. So they are just buried in that bait. Hard to get a hook set unless it's a really hard biting fish. This is like a really niche type of bait, and you could do all the things that you're doing with this bait with a frog. So do you need this? No. Is it a bait that can catch fish? I guess, yes. So it runs the way that it seems like it's supposed to, at least the way I fished it. So yeah, final verdict is like what, 5 out of 10? 5 out of 10.
2 out of 10, throw it away.
Okay.
I'm doing this one for the fans. This is Danny the duck, good old Danny. And everybody's like, why do you hate this duck? I'm throwing this for you guys. All right, you can say I did it, you can say I threw it. I have thrown it before, I've had 0 luck on it. I don't know or believe that this is a big pike lake. If it was, maybe I'd have better luck, or like a musky lake. But we're gonna give it a shot anyways. Again, I just wanna like second, opinion on the action now that I'm fishing it 2 years later than the last time I did. Let's try it. Okay, so this bait walks like a frog, talks like a frog, is a duck. It's not that the action's bad. It's just like, maybe it's just like where we fish or the type of fish we target, obviously, makes it a less quality option, right? And I mean, to be fair, a lot of this is we probably just don't know how these were meant to be run, which I do find is like kind of a big issue in the tackle industry. It's like they're making these baits, you make your own thought process about it. You're like, oh, I'll fish it this way. Then you see like somebody else fish it and crush on it, and you're like, that is the opposite of what I thought it was supposed to do.
Like big swim baits.
So there needs to be way more education on this stuff for sure. Otherwise, yeah, you make a bait like this, everybody's gonna say it's a gimmick unless you're like, in this specific condition, you need Danny the duck. You know what I mean?
That's why Monster Bass has the guidebook.
That is exactly why we have a guidebook. So I'll give a great example is the spider, right? Like a lot of people say the spider is the worst bait ever, including some of our best friends like Debo's Fishing. And it turns out it's a very specific conditional type bait. It's a finesse hollow body for specific conditions and areas where that would actually do good.
And even with a 1/2 ounce, if you're not using a soft rod, you're doing yourself a disservice.
You gotta downsize your frogging gear for the spider, period. It's not a frog. All right, so verdict on Danny. As far as, I'm just Danny's pissing on me because he's mad. It fishes like a frog because of the upward chin position here. Like, it does have some pretty good action. I will not fault it for action. It's no worse than any other basic frogs out there. That said, it is a much bigger profile than I like to fish on frogs, especially up here in Michigan. The feet are fine. They fall off almost instantly. I guarantee your first fish lost feet. So if you rely on the feet for special action, it's gonna go away. Other than that, I would say probably a pike bait. It's from Westin, definitely UK based. Like, it makes more sense in those conditions. Maybe up in Canada for like monster pike, this would be great. Yeah. I don't know, but not here. So not here.
Not gonna.
I'm not a fan, and I'm sure some Michigan person is gonna be like, I fish Michigan, I only use the duck. And to him I say, or her, congrats. I hope you get on huge fish. You're awesome, and carry on. Bye, Danny. Here it is.
No! That one has a huge hook on it too.
I buried it.
Oh, is this that like popping thing?
Yeah, you're getting the popping thing.
Oh, the wind is really doing it.
He's going for the beer Sango. It's in my femur. Here we go. Next one is Timmy the Turtle. Absolute one of my least favorite baits of all time. I know some of you guys love it. Isn't that the beauty of fishing? Like, you can love something that I hate and you hate something I love. Like, it's all good, man. But due diligence is due diligence. So we're gonna cast this sucker out here and just see how it runs. Now, it is one of those lunker prop style baits. So I like to kind of like quick retrieve, pause, get those props spinning up, spitting some water. And one of the props is totally broken right now. My prop ain't propping. Main problem with these is you gotta land in open water. You can't land on pads, but you can run through pads. Wind is not helping us at all today. Otherwise, you get a whole bunch of this. It's not a weedless frog by any means. It's a weed full. I mean, the main thing is bass do feed on turtles. And I have seen quite a few baby turtles out here today, this morning. No reason if they were hungry that they wouldn't key in on this. Again, I'm mainly saying it's not the first thing I would grab, that's for sure. Final verdict on the turtle. It is an open water condition, running along weed lines, running in front of the pads. You don't really want to go into the slop. It is going to catch up a lot on that stinger hook, mainly because it's so heavy, it like goes under first. Lighter frogs with a stinger hook, you can get away a lot of times with that, and with this one you can't. So open water only, really. Run the weed lines, run the pads. I'm sure it can work. I'm sure some of you guys are gonna be like, that's like my favorite bait, and that's totally fine. That's what fishing is about, right?
All right, so next up we have the Lunker Hunt Poppin' Bug. So it's a soft body popping bug, single hook, very light wire hook, very intensely rigged. It will be weedless, but you know, I love me a popping bait. It's kind of popping frog basically. So let's see how it performs. Interested to see. Oh wow, a little finessey. Let's just see how it walks. Yeah, it pops. It does pop. Okay, we're popping. All right, so it does pop fairly well. It doesn't pull through cover phenomenally well. I feel like the hook eye gets stuck on some stuff. I mean, it's not like a bad bait. It's just like, does the world really need this? No, I don't really think so. I think a poppin' frog would probably do you better, but it's a little subtle. So, I mean, a 5 out of 10, there's nothing wrong with it. It fishes mostly how it's intended to. The battle beetle. I'm just glad it's purple. It's kind of awesome looking. So we got the battle beetle, jointed wake bait, topwater / wake bait, 2 trebles. I'm in 6, 7 feet of water, high weeds, good spot for like a wake style / topwater moving bait. So let's see if we can get something done. Honestly, this bait I'm kind of like torn. Like, yes, is a beetle like a gimmick? Yeah, probably a little bit. But like, is a jointed wake bait with like a kind of a bigger body like a problem? No, like I feel like there's nothing wrong with that concept. So let's see how it fishes. And it wakes pretty good, a little tight wobble right on top. And I feel like the 2 trebles with, you know, a little bit of stuff tied onto them, it's good. And it makes a little bit of noise, like as it kind of goes through, like the whole thing has, I don't think there's a rattle or anything. There is a rattle, but I feel like with that with the rattle and some of the other stuff, like there's nothing wrong with this bait. I will say you probably got to work it a little slow to make sure you get the right amount of action. I am in some waves, so I got to slow myself down a bit. But yeah, you speed it up and that thing is like, oh God. I just whacked you guys right in the faces. Sorry about that. Sorry, Rod. Now it's going a little bit subsurface, a little bit faster. It kind of dips down. Like I'm not against it. You know what I like about it is that it does what it does at different speeds. Like it works on low speed and it works on high speeds. I like that. That's how it's supposed to work, especially for a wake bait. All right, final results on the old Battle Beetle. I think it works, like, okay, Beetle idea in general, like, is that a gimmick? Yes, I do think that's a gimmick. The idea of the bait and the execution of the bait, the way that it fishes, not gimmick. Fishes pretty well, it's pretty cool. I like that it's got like a metal tie-in point. I like that it's got the rattle. It casts fairly well. You can run it at different speeds, which is what you're supposed to, you know, be able to have out of a wake bait. It runs a couple inches on the surface. It runs okay on top water. 2 trebles, you're not gonna miss any bites. It's also a little bit finessey. It's not too heavy, so you can run this on maybe spinning outfit. It's gonna work just fine. Or in a medium, right? Like some sort of medium stick. I was 7 out of 10, 6.5, 7 out of 10, somewhere in there. Not bad.
So this is from Headbanger Lures. This is like that kind of a jointed swim bait, single treble. Very strange bait, very unique. I have actually fished it once or twice, but short periods of time. Wasn't the biggest fan, did get a bite on it. See if it can do anything today or if it changes my mind. It's been hanging on my wall for a while. Definitely like a shallow cover, flat type bait. One that you want to run. So there's less tall weed cover like we have today all over. Oh, we're on. No! No, I had a hit. Boo! I think I had, it's a single treble, so I think I had him. This isn't exactly the best rod for this setup. I don't really have one for this setup. And then I think I hit weeds after and lost them. I mean, the action's good. I've definitely caught fish on Headbanger lures. It's like a wobble head, but it's a cupped wobble head, right? It's moving uniquely. Try jigging it.
I like that.
So last verdict on this guy, the little Headbanger lures. I actually like it. I think it's a pretty solid bait. This is probably not the best conditions for it, but I can see where this could produce in the right conditions really well. Nothing against this bait at all. It is weird, like every other bait that we're doing today, but I would give this a solid like 7.5 out of 10. I'm a fan. All right, folks, you got a big birdie. I'm gonna go flip this bird over here. So this one actually came from an order where Paul and I bought a bunch of chase baits because they have all sorts of wacky baits like this. And we fished it at night. We got it for night fishing. No luck on it, but it makes the craziest noise. I'm sure you guys will hear it as I pass the camera. Pretty heavy, pretty big, and it's just a walking creature topwater bait, like a Savage Gear bat. Listen for it, it's coming close. Insane, insane. I'm going deep with it. Should be able to call fish in from about 7,000 feet away. I like your positivity. Shut up! You're so loud. All right, so verdict on the chase baits. Like Paul said, absolutely nothing wrong with this bait. I love it has 2 trebles too. If you're night fishing, if you're fishing the right spot, you're gonna crush it on this bait. Like, I guarantee that. It looks crazy, but it definitely 1000% works. So I'd still recommend this one. Based on coolness factor and performance, because it does what it's supposed to, I'll give it another like 7.5 out of 10. Have I caught anything on it? No! Glad you asked. Going over the deep water, we've got a deeper diving, but like finesse size crankbait from Castaic, I believe. So Rick Clun, natural pattern, geometric shape lip, real weird. At least I don't have to cast into the wind. I mean, it's doing what it's supposed to do. I'm running 10 feet of water right here. Get it down there, covering some water. It's the whole point of a crankbait. Tough to cast on this setup. Really need like a BFS almost. Very lightweight crank. Oh my God. That's what it did to me. It's gone. I threw it. Oh no. Ow. No. Damn it. All right, you guys, so wrapping things up on weird baits we own. And again, like the purpose of this video is not like, these are weird, they definitely don't work. Some definitely don't. So again, some of these baits might work for you, didn't work for us. You know, today was kind of a speed round. Honestly, it was looking at the performance and being like, does this do what it proposes it does? And do we like that?
Exactly.
So we kind of rated them on our own
we get a
scale.
scale of 1 to 10. 10 being like, I have to have 2 of these in every color.
Yep.
1 being, I have to not have any of these in
I don't
any
even
color.
want to hear about it.
Yeah. So Skitter Lizard is like a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3. I give
That's
it a 3.
generous.
Yeah, it's a little generous because it did, the tail did spin, it did cast, and it did work in the pads, sort of.
Sort of.
Don't like the hook placement. Don't like that the hands in the front like don't do anything other than kind of like barely wiggle around.
Right.
And other than that, like it serves virtually no purpose. And it's the killer, the ultimate nail in the coffin is that it's expensive. This is 10 plus bucks
15.
all day, every day. This is trash, and it's going right there.
Was actually pleasantly surprised by the Moloch Super NATO Beetle. It's pretty rad. I like this topwater, easily an 8, or did I get an 8.5? Something really good. It's like an 8 out of 10. Very good bait. You're not popping it, twitching your rod or anything. You're just straight retrieving it and then pausing. I can see this working really good on weed lines and fronted pads, all that stuff. It was tough to do that today because you couldn't get a line on it because the wind just kept throwing you into the pads. Short of that, great bait. I liked it.
This is the Westin Swim. I think I gave this a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's a kind of a cool idea. Like, I feel like I would use this where I am in the States.
Sure.
I would use this in a place where it's like you have heavy cover, but there's like random open pockets because you can swim this through those pockets pretty easily. Yep. You could even throw a loop knot and use this with like mono or you know, and maybe catch some fish.
Good action.
Cool action with a loop knot. The hooks are in the back, but they're kind of silly. They're way too bent down. And I mean, it does pull through cover fairly well, but like it serves no real purpose. It's like a super duper niche-y type of deal. So do you need it? Absolutely not. But it did do what it was maybe supposed to do. So I'd say like, yeah, 5 or 6 out of 10.
There you go. Danny the Duck, personal vendetta against this guy. But again, nothing wrong with the bait. Pike bait, musky bait, big fish bait for sure. It's not like gigantic by any means. I know you guys are probably looking at like the Savage Gear Duck or something like that. Again, Westin, UK purposes, man. Like I think it's just not here.
Yeah.
And maybe if you guys are in Michigan and you're smacking on this, awesome. Tell me where exactly. Drop a waypoint. I'll go.
And which
do that.
fish?
Which fish? Did
Bob
you
or
catch?
Rick?
I'll catch them too. Nothing wrong with it other than, you know, the feet will fall off. It's just not it's never going to be a go-to for me. So I don't know, what, 5 out of 10. That's what we say about baits that we just don't like.
I give it to a 6 out of 10. It's not
6 out of 10,
terrible.
that's fair.
This is the poppin' bug from the old lunker hunt, which has a lot of baits in this segment.
Yeah, it
one, the hook I think is a little actually underpowered and maybe too aggressive of an EWG. I think is
For
like
sure.
that's my one deal with it. It does pop fairly well. It's very durable, so like it's not gonna fall apart, which is kind of nice. You know, it's standalone. It does what it was supposed to. This is probably a 6 out of 10. It serves no purpose though. Like a poppin' frog is gonna be better than this in most instances.
Or a popper.
Yeah, and I mean, because this is just gonna fall apart after a couple fish. The hook is going to tear it eventually, and then it really is useless. So I like a 5, maybe 6 out of 10. Like, I don't hate it, I just don't really like it.
Oh, duh.
Leave it to
Timmy the Turtle.
Leave it to Jeff.
So
I think it should be Tammy the Turtle.
Tammy likes to take on a lot of water. So Tammy the Turtle likes to be full of water and sink to the bottom. Tammy also does not do well with any sort of cover. If you guys catch a fish, I swear, I swear.
The gulls are swarming. They know we're gonna have a snack soon.
Yeah. No, that's not a fish, liar. So the props sometimes don't prop. This one kept getting stuck. It's getting stuck right now. I don't know why that is. Something's wrong with it. It got bent somehow.
So not reliable. Prop hollow bodies are fine. I've caught fish on the prop frogs before. This is just the bulky body of this. Like,
I'm just sick of seeing the extended stinger hook on all of their baits. Like, that's the solution.
It's not. So yeah, what, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10?
That's 2 out of 10 for me. I know some people love it. It's a 2 out of 10 for me. This is the old experimental. Shut up! This is the experimental bladed, maybe like jigging spoon.
Yeah.
Really cool idea. I'm not gonna lie. A pretty simple way to get a lot of like flash and vibration out of a jigging bait. You could definitely tip this with some live bait and catch some fish. Not here, but this could catch fish, especially at 1 ounce.
Yeah,
it'll catch big fish. Maybe for like, maybe jigging for like walleye or like salmon, or like not salmon, trout, like lake trout.
Area.
You could definitely do this. So cool idea. I'll give this like a 7 out of 10, 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Fair enough. We got the Headbanger lures thingy, I'll call it.
The guy,
the thing with the dude, right? So it's got the little paddle tail on it, nice rattle to it, good crazy action. Actually got like 2 hits, 0 fish. It is straight shanked. Kind of, I probably should like change the treble or something, but I mean, it'll catch fish. Very fishable, fun to fish. Maybe not the right spot for it or the right day for it, but I have faith in this thing. I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. Not one that I'm grabbing. Like, it's not. It's not in my day box, but it worked. We'll fish. We'll catch fish.
And it looks cool. All right. I hate to say this. The Battle Beetle.
Battle Beetle.
I actually really enjoyed fishing this. I thought it did exactly what it was intended to do. It's like kind of a speed wake.
Yeah.
You can hustle this bait and it'll dive down maybe 3-4 inches.
Lots of action.
I like the idea of 2 finesse hooks really adding even more action and probably keeping you some fish. The nice thing about the trebles is that you can throw this on a medium bait caster, and this is going to cast well. It's going to catch well. And it's like kind of finessey. Also, the rattle in the tail, that was what actually got me, because it enables the casting, and this thing is loud. Like, you feel it like working the whole time. So I get it. Like the Beetle, yes, it's gimmicky because it's a beetle. If you named it something else, this would not be gimmick. So I will go 7 out of 10.
Fair. I do actually like that one too. And I like this one, Chase Baits Smuggler. Comes in a couple different sizes. This one is the smaller size, right? The Pompadour is the big boy.
So the Pompadour is a totally different bait. That's the Jackal.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the only one.
So it comes in a couple different sizes, but it's a good bait. Like, I do like it as a topwater. Ain't nothing wrong with this. You're gonna catch fish on it. Very unique action, very cool sound. If you guys have fished like bird baits, Savage Gear bats, like that kind of stuff, it's that. Very loud, very effective, I imagine, especially maybe for like night fishing. We just like haven't had the right conditions or time to put it in the right spot at the right time, right?
It's gonna take time.
Yeah, we'll eventually figure this out. This is still one that we would keep like on board topwater. Like,
it's in my box.
We want to get funky, it stays in the box, right? So good bait. And the last bait is gone.
Somewhere over there.
Yeeted to the next century. So that was interesting. It was really tough to throw. It's like a light, the Rick Clun crankbait. It's not bad. Definitely has like good action on it. I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's not a crankbait I'm grabbing. Like, it's just not. Deep diving, finessey, I don't know what to do with it. Again, I claimed ignorance on this. Like, I am ignorant of how to use that, as we are of most of these.
100%.
The fun thing about this was like, these, we said at the beginning, these have been sitting on the shelf.
Yes.
We're just like, I'm never using this. But like, you gotta, don't you? Like, you gotta try it.
If you got it, you gotta throw it.
So I'm glad that we got out here and did this. Hopefully this was fun for you guys. Closing thoughts, weird baits, don't shut them out completely. If you can learn about them first though, before you spend the money, because they can be expensive. Like Skitter lizard, that's a lot of money. But if you know exactly where to use it, how to use it, what conditions, what fish you're chasing with it, maybe the right area of the country or world, it makes sense. Sure, let's do that. So don't skip on them, we're saying, but learn about them first, and then get it if it makes sense for your area and how you like to fish, because it can be a lot of fun. I can tell you, we've caught on some kind of gimmicky
100%.
baits. Like when we were catching on the spider, it was like, oh my gosh, game changer. When we caught on the Chase Baits, the water dragon.
Oh yeah, they're like speed wake. I caught a bunch of fish on it, yeah.
That was cool. So it is like a really cool feeling catching on something funky like that. So don't be opposed to it. Go give it a shot. Hopefully, again, this was fun for you. If it was, like, subscribe, ring notification bell. Come back Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. Love to see you there and talk to you in chat.
Later, nerds. Bye.